Okay, so in the last video, I showed you how the Titan T2 is new and improved, and what a really good job Titan Fitness did improving the T2, their cheapest power rack. Um, so this video I'm going to show you. I've added the weight storage to the rack, and it makes it even sturdier than what it was. I mean, you can see I got a lot of weight hanging off of that. This thing's just a gorilla now. It's just super heavy, super sturdy. No issues whatsoever. And what I left out in the last video was they also added, I'm trying to be my own cameraman here, so bear with me. They also added on the end of each foot, I don't know if you can see that, but there's these bolt holes. You can anchor this down onto a platform or into the concrete if you want to. You really don't need to, though, because it's sturdy. Haven't had to do that. So that's it on the Titan T2. Everything that they've redone the paint on it. It's much better paint, as I've said in the other video. The accessories are just top notch. They have a lot of, where the hell is that? So the spotter arms here, they're just top notch. I don't think there's another 2x2 budget rack out there with accessories that Titan makes. They also have a lat pull down, which I'm going to get in the future, which is really heavy duty. It attaches to the back of the rack. It's got like a 300-pound capacity, which is good. Now, a lot of people out there are wondering, how does this rack compare to other budget racks? I just so happen to have another budget rack, a top selling budget rack, which is the Rep Fitness PR 1100. I have two racks because I'm a personal trainer, and it's just easier to have someone in here doing squats while someone's over here doing bench presses or pull-ups or whatever. But how does this compare? How does the Rep PR 1100 compare to the Titan T2? Well, the first thing I noticed on the Titan T2 is the hardware is a little bit beefier. They use 12 millimeter bolts. 12 millimeter bolts. They're like grade 4.8. I don't know if you can see that. Whereas Rep Fitness uses a smaller, they also use grade 4.8, but they're smaller 10 millimeter bolts. The base is set up pretty much the same way, just slightly smaller bolts. But they make up for it on the upper portion here, where they use a lot of the bolts, and they use a lot of extra support brackets. So I think they make up for it with more bolts. Metal thickness. Rep Fitness says that theirs is 14 gauge, and it's it's not commercial grade thickness by any means, but it gets the job done. Metal thickness on the T2 is probably just a little thicker, if anything. It's probably 13 gauge, 12 gauge. They claim it's 12 gauge. It's probably marginally thicker than the Rep PR 1100. Let me see the hole spacing. You get 2-inch hole spacing on center. 2-inch on center with the Titan T2. You get 3-inch on center with the PR 1100. I prefer the 2-inch. Not gonna lie. 3-inch is bearable, though. You can get by with 3-inch. And they put numbers on this, which is a cool, not just stuck on numbers, that are going to fade away after a few years, they laser cut numbers into the rack, which I think that's a cool feature. The paint is awesome too on the PR1100. The paint has like a smooth yet lumpy texture to it, if that makes sense. The pull-up bar is definitely a better thing on the PR1100. It comes with the multi-grip pull-up bar. I believe you can get the option of a multi-grip pull-up bar on the T2. It's like a $90 option. What else? Let's see. What else can we compare? Okay, the depth. I would pull out a tape measure, but I'm the cameraman here, so I don't want to be flopping. So there's like a 26-inch width from inside beam to inside beam on the T2. It's 26 inches. On the PR1100, it is 24 inches from inside of this beam to inside of this beam. Some people need that extra few inches for squatting and stuff because they like to take an extra wide step out. I have no problem inside the 24 inch. What else? People want to know about how stable is this. The T2 without the weight storage was pretty stable. It didn't have any wobble side to side. It was pretty rock solid. The PR1100 does have a slight wobble. It's got I don't know if you can see, but it does wobble side to side very slightly. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I've seen people on YouTube squatting 600 plus pounds in this thing, and it moves around a lot, but it's not going to go anywhere. So that's about it. I mean, finish and all that stuff, that really doesn't matter. I mean, obviously you get color choice with Rep Fitness. You can get a blue one, you can get a red one. Titan Fitness, you're limited to just black. The safeties, let's go over the safeties and the J hooks. So the safeties on the Rep Fitness PR1100 are these just chrome steel 1-inch thick rods. How strong they are, I don't know. If I were to bail a 315-pound squat on there from shoulder height, I'm sure that they would probably bend, or my bar would break, either one. I don't think they're meant for just like slamming the weight down and doing rack pulls on. I could be wrong, but they don't seem to be made for that. They do have this nice little extension outside where you can rack a weight on there if you need to. Whereas the Titan T2, this thing looks just made for powerlifting, for rack pulling. I've got this stupid band barrier sleeve over the sleeve that's already on. That's totally unnecessary. But it's a pin pipe. It's 1-inch pin and pipe, which is indestructible. You can really just drop weight on this. You'd ruin your bar before you bend these pins. You could actually take these pins and use them on the PR1100. They're interchangeable. It's 1-inch hole, 2x2 1-inch hole, so everything's interchangeable with one another. Accessory-wise, Titan T2 I think has Rep Fitness stuff beat. No one else has the spotter arms like that, not that I know of. J hooks. Let's take a peek at the J hooks. So I'm going to set this down for a second because I got to pull this bar off of here. Okay, let's see. There we go. J hooks. So Titan originally had just steel J hooks that they threw on there. Now their J-hooks are just awesome. You have the solid 1-inch steel pin. Inside they're lined so that you don't scuff up your rack, which is a cool feature. Outside they're lined so that you don't kill your bar. They're lined on all 3 planes here, okay? Underneath they're reinforced with a double bracket, welded. Super, super heavy duty. These are probably the best J-hooks I've seen on any rack, anywhere. I'm going to put that back, and we'll take a look. Take this down, if I can, without killing myself. Let's take a look at the Rep. So they also 1-inch steel pin. They go with like a chrome finish on theirs. Nice touch. There's no lining on the inside so that you don't fuck up your rack, but that's really not a big deal. What they did on the ends, so they've got their logo on there. They've got plastic lined, covering all 3 edges. And then underneath, they have a very thick support bracket right in the middle. So their one is probably as thick as the 2 of those over on the Titan. And they just put it dead center. Excellent J-hooks. So let me put this back. Put that in there. So that's how how it stacks up against other budget racks. So price-wise, I paid $375 for the Titan T2. Let me try to walk out here so you can see the whole damn thing. So for the Titan T2, with no accessories, $375. The spotter arms were $90. The weight storage was $200. That's the only accessories I got for it. The PR 1100 from Rep was $452, something like that. That's because they don't tell you that they charge you $100+ to ship it from Colorado to, in this case, Massachusetts. I'm trying to get out further so you can see the whole thing. It's a bit more pricey for Rep products. So if you're budget minded, I think the Titan T2 is a better buy. If you're more on a tight budget, quality wise, Rep has been better than Titan in the past, but now Titan is really starting to catch up. I mean, this Titan T2 really stacks up well against the PR 1100 and other budget racks. And that's it.